Listen up. Today, I'm not here to tell you what you already know. I'm here to break down why you're exactly where you are and, more importantly, how you can reset your life. Right here. Right now. Let's get real. Life gets tough. It's going to throw curveballs at you, hit you hard, and maybe even keep hitting while you're down. Some of you have been in that space for a long time, and maybe you've even started to feel comfortable there. That's the first trap: comfort and discomfort. You settle, and you start thinking that where you are now is as good as it gets. But let me tell you something: you were built for more. You've got more inside you than you're using right now. The only reason you don't feel it is because you stopped challenging yourself. Owning where you are and taking full responsibility is the cornerstone of any life reset. It's easy to look at the obstacles, to point fingers at circumstances, and to blame others or even luck for where you find yourself right now. But the moment you continue doing that, you're giving away your power. Every time you allow an external factor to take the blame, you lose control over your own life. Responsibility isn't about guilt or beating yourself up over mistakes. It's about acknowledging that the choices you've made, actively or passively, have brought you to this point. This level of honesty with yourself is rare and uncomfortable because it forces you to admit things that may be tough to swallow. But only when you fully own your past decisions can you start to shape your future ones. Taking responsibility requires you to stop seeing yourself as a victim and to recognize the agency you have. Even if life hasn't been kind or fair, life is filled with things we can't control: other people's actions, unexpected challenges, even our own limitations. But you have full control over how you respond, over what you choose to do with what you've been given. Every choice you make, from the smallest habit to the biggest decision, is either moving you closer to the person you want to be or further away. This isn't about dismissing the difficulties you faced. It's about refusing to let those difficulties define what happens next. When you take full responsibility, you're saying, this is where I am, and regardless of how I got here, I'm the one steering the ship from now on. This mindset is the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. When you own where you are, you can see with clarity what has to change. You stop hoping someone will come along and rescue you, that something outside of you will shift to make things better. That mindset, the hope for a quick fix, is a trap that keeps most people exactly where they are, waiting for change instead of creating it. Owning your situation isn't easy because it requires brutal honesty, a willingness to face uncomfortable truths about your habits, your mindset, and your actions. But with this honesty comes a tremendous sense of liberation. Instead of feeling weighed down by all the things you can't control, you get to focus your energy on the one thing you can control: yourself. Every step you take from that moment on is intentional, deliberate, and entirely your choice. It also means giving up excuses completely and without compromise. Excuses can be as small as blaming traffic for being late or as big as blaming circumstances for the life you're living. They are the stories we tell ourselves to feel better about where we are, but they keep us from moving forward. Each excuse chips away at your self-trust, your discipline, and your commitment. When you own everything about your current reality, excuses don't have a place. You're not interested in why something couldn't be done. You're only focused on figuring out how it will be done from here on out. Building discipline over motivation is critical because motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes, often in unpredictable waves, while discipline is steady and reliable. Motivation is that initial spark that gets you excited about a goal, a change, or a vision for the future. It's powerful in those early stages when everything feels fresh, but relying on it alone can quickly lead to burnout or inconsistency. Motivation can be triggered by external factors: an inspiring story, a powerful quote, or even a burst of energy after seeing progress, but it fades, sometimes just as quickly as it arrives. When you need to push forward on the days when that spark is nowhere to be found, that's where discipline becomes essential. Discipline is not about waiting for the right moment. It's about creating the right actions regardless of the moment. It's the daily, often repetitive, and sometimes difficult process of doing what needs to be done, no matter how you feel. Discipline is the backbone of progress because it's rooted in consistency. Each time you show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're building a foundation that doesn't depend on your mood, energy levels, or any external motivation. This foundation becomes the habit that sustains you through the times when most people give up. Instead of relying on that temporary high for motivation, discipline gives you the steady drive to take small, manageable steps forward every single day. Over time, this consistency adds up to significant change and growth. Discipline also teaches resilience. It pushes you to continue, even when there's no immediate reward, no applause, and no visible progress. It's about sticking to the plan, staying true to your commitments, and following through on your promises to yourself. When you cultivate discipline, you're training yourself to value the process over the result, the journey over the destination. This approach helps you avoid the common pitfalls of chasing instant gratification or losing focus when things don't go as planned. Discipline is what allows you to keep going in the face of obstacles, setbacks, and even boredom, because you've conditioned yourself to prioritize action over feelings. It's not glamorous, and it doesn't always feel good, but it's effective and dependable. Another powerful aspect of discipline is how it strengthens self-control and builds confidence. Every time you follow through on a commitment to yourself, no matter how small, you reinforce your trust in your own abilities. You start believing in your capacity to handle more, to push through resistance, and to achieve goals you once thought were out of reach. Discipline builds a mental muscle that can withstand the highs and lows of any journey. The more you practice it, the more it becomes second nature, a part of who you are rather than something you have to summon up. It doesn't require external motivation because it's driven by your own internal commitment. To develop discipline, start with small, consistent actions that align with your larger goals. Don't aim for perfection, aim for consistency. Set realistic, achievable steps that you can complete every day, even when things get challenging. This approach allows you to build up a reservoir of small wins, each one reinforcing the belief that you can stick to your word. This habit of daily consistency compounds over time, creating momentum that motivation alone could never sustain. Challenging yourself daily is the catalyst for real growth and transformation. Most people settle into comfort zones that keep them safe, secure, and familiar with their surroundings. But comfort zones don't allow for the kind of progress that leads to meaningful change. Each day that you stay within the limits of what feels easy, you're reinforcing habits that keep you exactly where you are. Growth only happens outside of those boundaries. By pushing yourself into uncomfortable spaces, you force yourself to adapt, to learn, and to stretch beyond your current capabilities. This is why daily challenges are essential. They keep you sharp, flexible, and prepared for anything life throws your way. The act of challenging yourself isn't about achieving big, dramatic goals every single day. It's about finding ways to step beyond what's familiar, even in small ways, so that you're constantly expanding your abilities. It can be as simple as taking on a task you've been avoiding, learning something new, or setting a physical goal that pushes your endurance. Each challenge, no matter how small, builds resilience. You become someone who doesn't shy away from difficulty, but rather welcomes it as a stepping stone to something greater. By making challenges a daily habit, you start to normalize the discomfort that comes with growth, and this discomfort becomes a sign that you're moving in the right direction. When you commit to daily challenges, you begin to change your mindset. Instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, you start to view them as opportunities. Each challenge becomes a lesson, a chance to develop new skills, a chance to improve, and a chance to learn more about yourself. Facing these obstacles daily allows you to understand your own limits and, more importantly, to push beyond them. Over time, you'll find that the challenges that once intimidated you become more manageable, and you'll be able to handle them with a newfound confidence and ease. The daily practice of challenging yourself builds a reservoir of mental toughness that will serve you in all areas of life. Daily challenges also cultivate self-discipline and accountability. When you take on the responsibility of challenging yourself, you're putting your growth in your own hands. You're not waiting for circumstances to change or for someone else to push you forward. You're proactively seeking out ways to test and improve yourself, and this instills a sense of ownership over your journey. Every time you choose to step up and face a challenge, you're reinforcing a mindset of self-reliance and determination. You're proving to yourself day by day that you can handle more than you thought and that you're capable of achieving things that once felt out of reach. Challenging yourself daily also keeps you adaptable and resilient in a way that few other practices can. Life is unpredictable, and the only way to prepare for the unexpected is to be comfortable with uncertainty and change. When you make challenges a regular part of your life, you develop a comfort with discomfort. You're no longer thrown off course by every setback or change in plans because you're used to facing the unknown. Instead of being paralyzed by new situations, you approach them with curiosity and the confidence that you can handle whatever comes your way. Visualizing the specific actions needed to achieve your goals is a crucial step in turning ambition into reality. It's one thing to have a vision or a dream about where you want to be, but it's entirely another to break that dream down into concrete, manageable steps. When you focus only on the end result, it can feel distant, overwhelming, or even unattainable. Visualization isn't just about imagining success, it's about mentally rehearsing the process. By identifying the actions you need to take and seeing yourself perform those actions, you create a roadmap that keeps you grounded in the practical steps required to get there. This approach transforms big, intimidating goals into a series of achievable tasks, giving you clarity and direction. Seeing the process in your mind helps you anticipate both the challenges and the resources you'll need along the way. Instead of being caught off guard by obstacles, you're prepared for them because you've already envisioned ways to handle them. Visualization allows you to simulate the journey mentally, experiencing potential setbacks, moments of doubt, and points of decision before they even happen. This practice strengthens your resolve because, in a way, you've already lived through the journey and know what to expect. Visualizing each step in detail, from the initial planning stages to the actions you'll take daily, weekly, or monthly, keeps you focused on what's immediately within your control. Another powerful benefit of this kind of visualization is that it increases your confidence and motivation. When you see yourself taking the necessary actions and working through the process, you reinforce your belief in your ability to succeed. Instead of seeing the journey as a vague, undefined path, you're creating a sense of familiarity with each step. This familiarity breeds confidence because, in your mind, you've already walked this path and succeeded. Each time you visualize yourself actively taking steps, you're strengthening your commitment to the process and building up the resilience to follow through. This mental rehearsal reduces hesitation and doubt, making it easier to dive into action when the time comes. Visualizing specific actions also enhances your focus and eliminates distractions. By clearly defining what needs to be done, you reduce the tendency to waste time on unimportant tasks that don't contribute to your goals. When you know what steps are essential, you can prioritize them over less impactful activities. This prioritization streamlines your efforts, ensuring that your time and energy are directed toward what truly matters. Visualization becomes a tool for sharpening your attention on the right actions, keeping you aligned with your long-term objectives and making you less susceptible to distractions that would otherwise pull you off course. Moreover, seeing yourself execute these specific steps in your mind creates a sense of accountability. You're no longer just thinking about the end goal, you're mentally committing to the actions required to get there. This commitment is powerful because it establishes a form of self-accountability. Once you visualize yourself taking these actions, it feels like a promise to yourself. You've mentally set a standard for how you're going to approach this goal, and that standard is harder to ignore. Every time you're faced with a decision to act or procrastinate, that mental commitment will remind you of what you've already seen yourself accomplish. This accountability helps you stay consistent and true to your intentions. Visualizing the steps also allows you to monitor your progress and adjust as needed. When you can see the specific actions you need to take, you're better able to recognize when something isn't working and make adjustments. Visualization isn't a one-time exercise, it's a tool you can use repeatedly to refine your approach, evaluate your progress, and recalibrate your efforts. Each time you mentally review the process, you're giving yourself an opportunity to improve and fine-tune your actions. Committing to the reset every single day is the key to transforming your life. A reset isn't a one-time event, it's a choice you make every morning, a choice to start fresh and continue forward no matter what happened yesterday. Too often, people think that making a big change means having a breakthrough moment that will last forever. But real, lasting change doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from thousands of small choices made consistently over time. Each day, you have the opportunity to reaffirm your commitment, to reset your mindset, and to align your actions with your goals. Making a daily commitment to your reset means being willing to face setbacks without letting them stop you. Challenges will arise and progress won't always be smooth, but if you approach each day as a fresh start, you give yourself permission to move forward without the weight of yesterday's mistakes. This attitude builds resilience because you stop seeing failures as reasons to quit and start seeing them as part of the journey. You learn to embrace imperfection, to accept that not every day will be perfect, and to keep pushing ahead, regardless. When you commit to the reset daily, you're reinforcing a mindset that values progress over perfection, and this mindset will carry you through the inevitable ups and downs. Consistency is what separates those who achieve lasting change from those who give up when things get hard. Resetting every day builds consistency, which is the foundation of discipline and growth. It's easy to feel motivated in the beginning, to be excited about your goals and the vision of a new life. But motivation fades, and on the days when it's gone, your daily commitment becomes the driving force. When you wake up each morning with the intention to reset, you're building the habit of perseverance. You're training yourself to take action, regardless of how you feel or what obstacles come your way. This consistency compounds over time, turning small daily efforts into significant achievements. The daily reset is also a reminder to stay present. It's easy to get caught up in worrying about the future or dwelling on the past, but true change happens in the moment. By committing to the reset each day, you bring your focus back to the present, to what you can do right now. This present moment awareness helps you take actionable steps without being weighed down by regrets or fears. Every day becomes an opportunity to take one step closer to your goals without being distracted by what has or hasn't happened before. You're fully engaged in the journey, attentive to the process, and grounded in what you can control. When you reset every day, you also strengthen your sense of purpose. It's easy to lose sight of why you started, especially when the road gets tough. But each daily commitment reconnects you with your why, with the reasons you wanted to change in the first place. This reminder keeps your purpose alive and reinforces your dedication to making that vision a reality. Your commitment to the reset becomes an anchor, something that keeps you steady even when things feel uncertain. It reminds you that you're not just going through the motions, you're working towards something meaningful. In the end, committing to the reset every single day is about taking control of your life. It's about refusing to let setbacks define you and choosing, instead, to keep moving forward, one day at a time. This commitment is a declaration that you are serious about change, that you are willing to do the work, and that you won't give up. Every time you choose to reset, you are taking back your power, building a stronger version of yourself, and proving that you have what it takes to create the life you want. Watch, learn, and grow with us. Subscribe for new videos and hit the notification bell. Thank you for your support.